guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome to another European preview video. We've Bohemians who are travelling to Dudelange, we believe they're called, in Luxembourg. Now, Daz, I have to say, when I saw the draw straight away, I thought to myself, Bohs should be winning this. You know, I still think Bohs can win it, no doubt. But looking at their pedigree, they've a better pedigree seemingly than Starjan in the last couple of years. Like, you know, they're a club that won, they were founded in 1991, for example. They've won 15 league titles, which is decent since 1991, let's be honest about it. The last couple of years have actually qualified for the Europa League. They beat Apoel Nicosia, for example, in the group stages as well the last time. Funnily enough, in 2015, they did bow out to UCD in Europe, which is interesting, on away goals. But I'd be looking at them more in terms of the last couple of seasons, and the fact that they've qualified for the Europa League twice. That's no fluke. This isn't going to be easy for Bohemians, is it?
Hi, Key, what's the crack? Look, it's great to be this far. Like, you know, having Brett Starjan and we're in this round in the qualifying now. This is not going to be an easy game by any means. And this team is going to be 10 times harder, in my opinion, starting. Obviously, you know, like we haven't really watched them. And there's still question marks even in regards to the stream. We'll get back to that now another time. But look, it's going to be a very hard game. This team are no pushover. They finished second in the league last year. They've been in the group stages, like you said, and they bet Apoel in the group stages. So they've gotten into the group stages so far, like in the last few years. So they definitely have something about them. And I'd be fearful of this tie going into it a lot more than the last one.
Yeah, so it's the only good thing for Bohemians, or not the only good thing, but a big advantage I always think for our clubs is they're not in their season at the moment. They're playing a raft of friendlies, but I've said it before, like Newtown and Wales, for example, when they play Dundalk, like friendlies are no good when you go up against a side playing competitive matches. So you'd like to think that gives Bohemians a little bit of an upper hand, and the fact that Bohs are away in the first leg. I know we've no away goals, but you saw how the atmosphere and the you know, how Bohemians played in that game in the Aviv against Starjan, like, you know, the energy they got from that.
They were like a different team in the Aviva. They were like a completely different team. They were much more energetic the whole way up the field, and the fans really pushed the team on. And that's something Bohs have missed this season and last season massively. The fans getting behind them and pushing them on and cheering the team on. And they haven't had that this season in the league. And when it was in the Aviva Stadium, the place was erupted. It was electric. The atmosphere was, every stand was rocking. Everyone was behind the team and everyone wanted them to do well. And they did it very well. I mean, they're very good at counting of ourselves and in the league in general. And we were a completely different team in the Aviva. They were fully focused. They were really up for it, and they were a lot more composed than they were when they were away. I would happily take, you know, a draw going into this, but there is no away goals. So I'd really like to shut up shop and keep them out. And you know, it'll be interesting to see will Keith Long's changes that he made against Longford last week pay off, because the players should be fresh now going into this, completely fresh. It'll be interesting to see will it pay off and will we get a result away from home now. And it's going to be great being back in the Aviva too. That's confirmed the fans will be back in that. The number is still yet to be released, but I think
it's going to be 6,000 at least, I believe, Daz. Isn't that true?
6,000 at least, so there'll be more fans probably, possibly than the last one, which is brilliant to see that there'll be fans behind them again. So the team will know that, and they'll be rocking and buzzing to get back to the Aviva. And I'm sure no matter what the result is away from home, all the fans will be in the Aviva and will be all back in the team, and the players know that and they're waiting for it.
That said, it is important that they do get a decent result at the very least away from home. Like against Starjan, the draw was a decent enough result. I suppose Bohemians, looking at it, whatever happens, like they could go on and win the game. You don't know away from home as well, but they probably can't afford to lose by 2 goals or more, I would suggest. I know they beat Starjan 3-0, but it would be more difficult to turn around a 2-0 lead to win 3-0, if you get me.
Oh, it most definitely, like, you know, I think over 2-0, you know, a game's never over till the final whistle goes. So it's putting us in a very bad position then going into the Aviva. If they can even keep it down to a 1-0 loss, you have a chance, somewhat of a chance in the Aviva. But I'd be very hopeful of a draw, and I think we're very capable of a draw if everyone's fully focused in the team, and you know everyone is composed on the team and performs on the day. Like, it's players can go missing and then just go through the motions, get caught up in the tie, and it's very important that they all stay focused and do what Keith Long wants them to do, and shut up shop if they have to, and you know, not be messing around with the ball and just keep it out basically. And if you have to play it for a draw and play it badly for a draw, then so be it. Get the draw away from home and focus on the Aviva.
I do get the feeling it might be a bit cagey because the game away from home, the last time they played in Europe, it was a cagey game, and there was a lot of cat and mouse sussing out in that game, wasn't there?
They're very much so. Like was like there's a good few shots that we were having that I was even saying to you, I was like, why they doing that? Like it's great to be shooting, but shoot in a position where you might score from, not where it's going to be handy for the keeper or most likely 9 out of 10 times off target, which is what they were doing. And had 10 corners in the game, didn't really make use of any of them. So it only takes one good corner to get a good goal and get a good result. But they were really going astray sometimes in the games and just passing it backwards and sideways when it could have done so much more. I don't know what it was. It was probably a bit of fear in the European tie playing away from home for the first one and knowing really need to get results. And we got lucky. We got the goal back, but we were in control of the game for large parts of it. It's just what we did with the ball. We could have done a lot better. And I think that's something that they did in the second tie a lot more. They played differently and they were more energetic. And as I said, they're just more composed and a higher work rate. And they made smarter decisions the whole way around the pitch in every position. There wasn't any unnecessary shots or unnecessary clearances, like losing possession when they didn't have to. They passed it and found the player when they could, which was great to see. So I think if they do that in this time, you bring that into it, it's going to put us in a good position to get some kind of good result in the first leg.
Would you make any changes to the team that actually started against Stars in the second leg at the Aviva Stadium?
No, definitely not. I would definitely wouldn't. Like go with the exact same team, and I'd probably sit up the same and try and play it the same way. Playing away from home is obviously different, Like I said, I'd be happy with a draw. Someone else mightn't be, and Keith Long won't be. He'd be wanting to get a win, and that's understandable to be saying that. But I would be happy with a draw. So Keith Long might be taking that into consideration. Well, maybe if we play a different way to get a draw, than rather than going from the front foot and maybe put ourselves in a position where we're vulnerable in the backs and maybe concede a goal. So he could be looking at it that way as well, which he could have been in the Sargent game when we got the draw that time.
Yeah, I think the one question mark for me, and the reason why I asked, would you make any changes, is the fact that Rory Feely was taken off at half time, for example, and Rob Cornwall came on. So I suppose I'm kind of asking, who would you play between Feely and Cornwall? I thought actually Kieran Kelly, and I don't think it was said enough that night. I thought he was outstanding for Bowes. It was the best I've seen him in a Bohemians jersey, personally.
It was the best game he had for Bowes, I think, as well. He got behind everything, he blocked everything, he cleared everything, last ditch tackles, perfect timing for tackles, interceptions. I didn't just hoof it. He found a pass when he could too, and he had a bit of leadership about him too. You could see him getting the players up the field and dropping back when he had to. That's all crucial and very important. And he's really came into himself this season, I think, as well. And he's massively improved as a player. And what a player he is! It's great to have him there. In regards to Feely and Cornwall, that's a very big decision.
It's a question, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a very 50-50 one. Cornwall, what he gives you. It's kind of old school clearance, hard tackler, strong. But Feely, he could play the ball a bit more, find a bit more of a pass. So it's very situational and question marked about that. I'm going to leave that one to Keith Long rather than me taking that one now.
And then to confuse the issue, Keith Long could easily push Feely to right back and take Lyons out. That's another option because it depends what he sees. Like Feely and Lyons are two very different styles of fullbacks. So if you want to really attack a team and get, or if you want to get more height, let's say, into a team, Rory Feely's your man as well. And sometimes, depending on the tactics of the opposition, it could suit better. A lot of people mightn't understand sometimes why Feely would play there and why Lyons would play there, but there's usually a variety of reasons. But I do think the rest of the team, I would say, apart from the defence, I would say we'll all be able to pick the rest of the team. Put it that way.
Yeah, it picks itself. The rest of the team does. There's no changes anyone really could make, and even looking forward, we only have one striker, so you're not going to really necessarily change that. We only really have two proper wingers as such. You're not really going to change that.
Malin is injured again, unfortunately for him.
Malin's injured, and then Dawson and Tierney are having an excellent season. You couldn't leave them out. And Buckley's a club captain; he's not going to be left out, and rightly so. And he had a great game in the Aviva too. So they all picked themselves, and Talbot's going to be in goals, obviously, and Wilson and steadily at set pieces, and he's going to be left back for sure. And Kieran Kelly had a great game; he's going to be centre back for sure. And then that leaves the question of right back: who does he go with and why? And Cornwall, Leonard Feely, and centre backs who does he go with and why as well? And that's going to be the toss-up for Keith Long, I think, as well, and Trevor Crowley to decide on and why to go that way. I think they might look at the height of the team too, and they might go by who might be stronger and better in set pieces, both defending and attacking, which I think could be important. I was at the Longford game last week and I thought we were easily bet in the air, which is something that you don't want to happen in Europe because these lads will put it in the back of the net, as we all know. So that's an interesting one for them to be deciding on.
There. So Daz, what's a good result for Bohemians now in this leg, do you think? Or maybe more importantly, how do you think they're going to do exactly? Are they going to win the match? Are they going to draw? Are they going to lose?
I'm going to go this one with my head. I think we're going to get a draw, and I think we're going to play for a draw. And a draw, I think, would be a very positive result for us. And let's make no mistake about it. This team is very good. They're in the Europa League group stages recently, second in their league last year. You know, a draw would be an excellent result against these, and they've bet teams in Europe like Aqua, like we said. So definitely no pushover. And you know, like I think a draw would be a good result. I think a win would be great, but I'm being reasonable and realistic. A draw would be an excellent result. And just touching on their away match now this week, they're still yet to announce a stream. They actually own their streaming rights, so this might be an issue for us in the league and Bohemians fans. We mightn't have the stream to watch it, unfortunately. Darren Lambert is doing his best to try and get a stream, and we should know more in the coming days. And whenever we do, I'll throw it up in the page. But
you're hoping that's at the very least, it'll be on maybe he's goal, is it called?
He scored Score Live.
He scores. Yeah, he scored live. Sorry. Yeah, you're hoping to be on that at least. Yeah.
Well, anyway, to go back to the result, look, a positive result for me is a draw away from home with a clean sheet. So 0-0, I'd be very happy with, and take it to the Aviva then with the fans behind them and get a 1-0 win in the Aviva.
Yeah, like I say before, it doesn't matter if it's 0-0 or 2-2, but if a feeling Bowes will get a draw, and it might be a score draw, maybe the same as the last time, 1-1, which I think they'd be happy enough with. But lads, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit your bell notification button, and let us know what you think below. That's brilliant. Thanks as ever. Thanks a million.